All right, Jim. We have Guns N' Roses, My Michelle. This is a CVT lesson for you. And what I did was I notated any of the techniques that we're going to find in this song are written at the top of the page. It's not all on one page because it couldn't fit it as far as the notation stuff, as far as sliding and the notations that I use for tablature, because people use different ones. So this is, most of mine are probably the more common ways that you'll find it. You want to tune your guitar a half step down, so every string is 1 fret lower. You know how to do that because we've done that with your Skype lessons. And let me see how many pages we have. I've time-stamped things, subgrouped them for you in little pieces, and I labeled them with numbers. We have 7 pages, okay? That's all new, like everything that's new. And then when we have to go back and repeat a section of this, I just notate it by saying go back to section 1 4 times, or however many it may be. So let's jump in with this. Section 1, this is from 0 seconds to 26 seconds. And got the picking where I thought you would need it and everything. So here's what the beginning part is. It goes like this. Okay, so that part's going to end up going 3 times. Let me explain what's happening here. So we're starting with this. Basically, it's an A/C sharp. Get it? Slash. You're going to bar the 2nd fret on the D, G, and the B with your index finger here. And then using my pinky, 4th fret on the A. Now you can use your 3rd. As I was going through this, prepping for it, I was doing both without even thinking about it. But the bar definitely has to be done with your index. The picking pattern's written down for you as well. Step 1 is make sure the strings that we're playing in this chord are clear. So we have A, D, G, B. Those are the 4 strings we're playing. You're going to start on the A, pick straight down till you get to the B, and then you're going to upstroke the B string because we're heading back up. And then up on the G, up on the D, down on the A, and then up on the D. So that part sounds like this. Okay, the next one comes up, and what you want to do is middle finger 3A. I suppose you can use your 3rd if you want as well. Middle finger 3A, and then we need the 2nd fret on the D and G. Now here's the thing. If you're using your 3rd finger to do it, you can use 2 fingers for the 2nd fret D and G. I'm doing a little trick that I actually use a lot. Less fingers is usually quicker for people, so I take my index and I don't know if you can see that very well there, but I'm pressing it kind of dead center in between the D and the G string and pushing 2 strings down there. So, and you're going to play A, D, G in that open B. The open B might give you a little trouble because the angle of your 1st finger might be getting in the way of it. So we got to be careful of that. Once it's set to go, you're going to go A, D, G, B, and that's down, 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 up on those. Okay, so up to there it's... I muted that D a little. And then the next one, a little bit tricky. 1st finger 2A, 4th finger 4D, middle finger 2G. Kind of awkward, it's tricky to jump to and land it fast enough. And knuckle up, man. Keep that middle finger coming at a downward angle, and this is going to be picked the exact same way as the last one. It's A, D, G, B, down, 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 up. Cool chord though. So and then the last chord is F sharp minor. It's a bar chord, and you'll bar everything fret 2, 3rd finger 4A, and 4th finger 4D. And you know your bar chords, so let's see how this part sounds. We have a longer pick pattern. This is similar to the beginning, the A/C sharp. And we'll go E, A, D, G, doing up on the G, up on the 4D, up on 4A, down on 2E, and up on 4A. So that's, what do we have, 8 notes there. And if you listen close, a lot of people miss this. The second time through, he goes like this. And by second time through, he does them 2 times in a row. You'll see on your tabs. Let me play it just from the F sharp minor. See how I hit the 4th fret D, the end of the second time, the first time I did the 4th fret A. Okay? We have double dots notated in your tab book. And then I put 3x, that's 3 times of all that. And then to finish off that, you're going to go back, it's basically like the beginning again where you're doing the... And then this time, we're just going to strum the F sharp minor. And Slash is only hitting strings 6, 5, 4, and 3. So you just strum those 4. That's it for the clean channel part of this. Pretty tricky on some of these chords, so take your time with them. You can do a run through and just practice going. You know, make sure the clarity's there. Play them as arpeggios as you're picking through. Okay, so section 2 comes in, and that's where the distortion part is, the main hook of the song, and this is from 27 seconds to 46 seconds, so it's 19 seconds of this section. Dave, my tech, who's back there, make sure you let me know when the video gets to about 20 minutes. This may be a 2 video thing, so when we hit 20 minutes, we'll go ahead and stop and do a video too. Alright, so we're going to distortion. Got a little bit of reverb on, that's it. Outside of my clean and distortion that we're using. This part, and another thing I didn't say at the start of this, you know, they had it's Slash, obviously, Izzy Stradlin, and they're both kind of doing, at points, different parts, and it almost sounds like there might be a 3rd guitar in there. I'm not positive. So what I got you is the primary parts, which is basically Slash's parts for the most part here. Okay, so on section 2 we got this. And that fret hand mute's in there if you listen close. A lot of people are missing that too. Part of the feel. It's kind of got a funky blues feel to it. So on this, it's 4th fret A, 6th fret on the D and G. It's up to you, Jim, if you want to use 3 fingers to handle that, or if you want to bar it with your pinky, or bar it with your 3rd finger. Doesn't really matter. Everyone's different. That's the unique thing with playing guitar. It's not cut and dry for everybody the same way. One thing real important in here is that we touch the underneath of the low E string with our index finger. If we don't, you're going to wind up, especially when you start doing downs and ups, or particularly upstrokes, you're going to wind up hitting that E, and listen what it'll sound like. That actually doesn't sound too horrible, but that was just because it wound up working that way. But definitely mute it, and if you're barring it, make sure you're muting the B string, and the way I'm angling my index, I'm actually muting the high E. So we're just highlighting 5th, 4th, and 3rd string, and I just strummed all 6. You want to have that at your disposal as you're hitting these strings, man, because if you don't, you're going to have to be real timid about making sure, you know. So fine tune it, put it through the microscope when you do this. We have a line with an X after that, which is just a quick rest. And then stay there, and then go down, up on the same thing. And then we got to move the power chord with the octave back a half step to 3, 5, 5. And that'll be hit with the down strum. So you're going down, up, down. Make sure you land that without pausing. And that one just rings. So we have this. And then this little riff here. We had 2 options. I took the funner one for you, which is probably Slash. That part. So it's a pick, hammer, pull, pull combination technique. 2A. Pick that, hammer to 3, pull it off back to 2, and then pull that off to an open. And Jim, I think you've done those before. If you haven't, they can be tricky on the double pull sometimes, but that one, subgroup it, just those 4. Okay, so we have, and that's going to take you right into this F sharp power chord, 2E, 4A. and go down, down, down. So then right after that, we're going to go open E with an upstroke. Okay, so, and if that 4 rings with it, it's not the end of the world, because I think one guitar player might be hitting it and the other may not. It sounds cool with it, and he does that later anyways. So we have, I'm just lifting up a little pressure off the A there to silence it. And then come right back down to 2E, 4A with a down strum. So, open A and 2D, up strum on that. Make sure to angle this to mute the underneath. My thumb is muting the low E. And that is, like I said, an up, rest, another up. So it's, and then just move that index finger up to 2A, and we're going to hit a down on the E and A. This is the E power chord. Then we go to 2E, 4A, down, and then we have fret hand mute, which is notated with the X across the top 4 strings, which is just this. I don't know if the strum hand's in there, but we've worked on those too in your Schecter lessons, so several of these techniques you've done. So I'm going to play that, which is actually played 3 times. It's so to catch the fret hand mute, what I would do, because the chord prior to that is the F sharp 5, so but just lift the pressure off a little bit, and then to secure the mute and make sure you don't get any accidental natural harmonics, just set those down and go down up on that. That's a good subgroup too. So the whole thing's 3 times. Then you'll hear harmonies come in, you know that, but that's an overdub guitar. So we have 3 of those throughout section 2. We turn over to page 2, and we finish it off with this. So you're basically kind of, your 4th time through it's as if you're starting it over, right? You do 4, 6, 6, go down, rest, down, up, and then go 3A, 5D, 5G, just like before. And that rings, so we still have that technique with the double hammer, or the double pull. 2, hammer to 3, pull to 2, pull to open. So that's, and then this part, really cool. He's playing the 2nd fret on the low E. Use your 1st finger. I would suggest backing it up maybe with the index, so you'd have 2 fingers on that fret. Bend it, and this is going to take some practice. He's pre-bending and releasing a step and a half. He's basically going from this A note that we're going to catch over here. There it is there. But you don't want to go, he actually goes right to it. Then release it. That alone is already a subgroup just doing the half step pre-bend release. It's a big name for 1 note with the technique. That finishes up section 2. We move into section 3, which is similar to that, but he adds a note to it, so the chords are now more defined. Instead of it being a power chord with an octave, it is we have the major 3rd in there, which makes it the full C sharp major chord. And this is from 47 seconds in the song up to 1 minute and 3. And so act as if you're repeating section 2 here, but we need to catch the 6th fret on the B string as well. So you're going to want to bar now. Having said that, you may want to consider barring it for the last section because you have to do it here anyways. 4A, 6, 6, 6 on the D, G, and B. Not a good number, I know, but check it. Make sure your low E is muted as well as your high E, which should be muted with your 3rd finger and your index if you need to. Okay, so same beat here.